All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, as always, I'd like to start off by giving all the praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI, YAHAWASHI Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and unto the elders, a great millstone, Shalom, Master, time of truth. Honors to the brethren and the Akim out there that's pushing out this truth with all sincerity and intent. YAHAWASHI for allowing me once again to come back with another lesson. And the title of this lesson is simply going to be titled, They Are. Now, this is going to be a quick lesson. It's going based off a video I just seen. And just to basically cover this topic, I've covered it before, and I believe it's a good topic to always cover, just to bring up front to the world of what these are. And the title of this lesson is called They Are, because a lot of people have, that's a good question to ask before I ask it, but like a lot of people believe that, you know, UFOs are aliens and they're coming from a different planet and they're this and they're that and just all these things. But we, us brothers, the Israelites, the ones that know this truth, we know exactly what they are. And the scriptures tell us as clear as day what they are. Okay? But I wanted to look up, I've never looked this up before. I'm wondering if I'll even get an answer. I believe I will. Might be an answer that I'm thinking it's gonna be an answer I'm expecting, but you never know. But let me just ask this question. Yeah, I figured. So it says UFOs, or unidentified flying objects, are aerial phenomenon that cannot be immediately identified by the observer. They are often associated with the reports of strange lights or orbs in the sky. While commonly linked into extraterrestrial spacecraft, most UFO sightings are later explained by misidentified mundane objects or natural phenomenon. The term UFO is now often replaced with the UPA, which is unidentified aerial phenomenon, in official context, reflecting a shift towards more scientific study of these events. Yeah, so I was thinking that was just gonna be the answer that I was gonna get. But we know what these are, and there's one video that I have here queued up. I think there's another one as well, but let's see this one first.
A lot of people over the last few months that think that.
And there's also another one with Tucker Carlson. I'll watch this one first.
You had mentioned several times that you think that the UFO, UAP phenomena stuff is all spiritual.
I'm satisfied that I know enough, and I don't really want to know that much more. Because what I think I know is, this doesn't help me at all to know that. So that's the conclusion I've reached. I'm usually pretty curious. I've stopped being curious about this because I don't want to know anymore.
You truly don't want to know anymore about it?
I think I know. I think I know what's up. So I can't prove it, so probably not going to articulate it, but I think I know what's up, yeah.
Can you articulate it?
Well, I think it's a really old story. I think it's a really old story. So
what is it?
Well, one, I'm a Christian, and I'm fairly sincere about it. I try to be sincere about it.
What was it that led you to believe?
Talking to a lot of people, I was really shocked by what credible people told me. I became completely satisfied, I'll say that they were not lying, and that they were right or in the vicinity of right. And then I was like, whoa, I'm out. Because I don't need to go farther than that. I mean, I think that the real struggles are unseen. That is absolutely a part of Christian theology. I didn't fully appreciate it at all. The belief that the real struggles are in the spiritual realm. That has been a constant belief since the beginning of history, recorded history. Everybody has thought that, except us in the West, since 1945. So once you get perspective on this question, you're like, like, okay, that may sound crazy to someone who thinks buying on Amazon is the meaning of life, but to every other person in the world, we may disagree about what the truth is. I'm sure we will, but we will never disagree with the fact that there's a lot of shit going on that we cannot see or measure with our senses. That is absolutely true. What I find so striking about the UFOs, this is the main takeaway I have, is like, there's this debate, is this stuff, these phenomena, which are clearly, obviously real, I mean, there's no debate about that. There's a lot of that people can't explain in the sky and underwater. We know that. Fact. So the debate is this government technology? Is it from outer space, or is it some spiritual realm here? I've already told you my view of it. But what I find so interesting, we know the government's lied about it. They're lying about it now. That's a fact. There's no way around that. They've absolutely lied about it in very elaborate ways. I am really struck. Here's my current thinking on it. The main effort that the U.S. government has put into its disinformation, its lying on this topic, has been not to mislead you on the technology. They're not telling me they don't have anti-gravity technology. It sounds from watching your podcast that they do. Their main interest is in convincing you that the supernatural is not real. And if you watch, and there are people in the media who specialize in spreading these lies on behalf of the government. I'm not going to name anybody, but like some of them work. Once you realize what the point of the exercise is, it's crazy. And I hope you'll assess all the fact-checking and the skepticism on UAPs through this lens. The main thing they want you to believe is that the supernatural is not real. Well, then you have to ask yourself, like, why?
That's interesting.
It is so interesting. Why is that important to you? Why do you care if I think the supernatural is real? Like, why is that? First of all, why is it? How dare you, as my government, try to get involved in my spiritual beliefs? That's totally not your area. So out of there, okay? A. But B, why has that been so important for 80 years for you to convince me the supernatural is not real? Why? Why is that? And of course, I can't answer the question, but my gut level response is, well, because if it is real, whatever they're telling you is not real, and if they're punishing you for saying something you know for a fact it's not real, you're not allowed to say that. Oh, not because they don't have no problem with me lying, because they lie for a living. So lying brings no sanction. You can lie all you want. What you can't do is tell the truth. That is a fact. So once you know that, you can sort of reverse engineer their lies and know with some certainty that whatever they're telling you is not true is in fact true. That's exactly the truth. It's exactly the truth. But then you have to ask motive. Like, it's not a profit motive. Like, does it make them rich to deny that there's supernatural forces? No. What is that? And I don't know the answer. But the obvious answer is, well, because they sort of know they're working for supernatural forces, actually. And I think that's probably true.
Is there a specific reason or a handful of reasons, or is this a hunch that you believe that they're working with the supernatural realm or have a relationship?
Well, I can't prove that. I mean, I'm suggesting that. I'm not saying it because I can't prove it, but I'm suggesting it. And if you're asking whether I believe it, the answer is yes. But I believe that for two reasons. One, because I've told that directly by a couple of people who I think seem to know.
You had mentioned several times,
but I've been talking to a lot.
And then there's this next one I have where, kind of gets straight to the point where, this is what people believe in. As these, because as you can see, I had this thing queued up here, right? You got reports of UFOs, not even every day, every damn near hour, like here we are getting closer to the truth about UFOs. All these things, all these, people who are trying to figure out and wonder what the hell is going on and what are these things and why we haven't seen these things. And the question is, or the answer to these questions is, it's the Lord. It's the Lord about ready to reveal himself to the fullest and to let you know that how small and how fragile, you people are of this world, that there is something out. Look at the Most High is YAHAWASHI is the ultimate, the biggest, strongest thing that there is. But he's not even going to show you he's going to show you a glimpse of his power through his angels, through the UFOs when they come and they cover the skies,
A lot of people over the last few months that think that aliens are angels and devils. When you're hearing about like all those stories in the Bible about fallen angels and devils, like these people think that they were referring to aliens. It's like fallen angel meaning like Satan, and that there's good angels and bad angels. there's demons and angels. They believe that all these stories are really referencing a spiritual force that's always here all the time and sometimes exists in the physical form. And it might be existing as these things that we keep looking for, like aliens and UFOs. And it might be doing that, or maybe to hide the true nature of what they are. So it will present as if it's from another planet. But really what it is some sort of interdimensional spiritual being. These aliens that people are encountering, there's some sort of an interdimensional being that has essentially always been here. Aliens might be living among us disguised as humans or in a base inside the moon, according to a new Harvard study. The researchers have investigated so-called crypto-terrestrials. These could be disguising themselves as humans to fit in.
Right, which, that's not too far-fetched either, because there are scriptures such as this. Let's go to this, Hebrews 13:2. And they are angels. And, I've heard what Apostle Dahar said before about this, is that they could be demons as well. It's not too hard to believe that the angels are able to operate. The demons, I wouldn't put it past it that they have the same, what they call abilities, just on the left-hand side, right? But let's go here. This is the book of Hebrews, chapter 13 and verse 2. And it said, I'll start at 1. And it says, let brotherly love continue. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers. For hereby some have entertained angels unaware. And that's unawares because, there's times where, you see it all the time with some brothers when they're out on the highways and byways. They'll be like, they have like a real spiritual conversation with a person or a spiritual interaction. And you might be like, that very well could have been an angel. Just checking up on us, seeing, kind of testing us, see what are these guys gonna do. See what happens if I come up looking like this guy or this gal or this person, But these things, what the people call UFOs, these are the angels, and these are the things in which the Lord YAHAWASHI is going to be coming in. This is how the Lord is going to reveal himself, and this is how every eye is going to see him. This is Revelation 1:7, and it says, and behold, he cometh with clouds. You see that? And Yahawashi had already told the man this before, that, hey, I'm going to be coming in the cloud. You going to see me. You go to Matthew 26 and 54. And, 63. And it says, but Yahawashi held his peace. And the high priest answered and said unto him, I adjure thee by the living power that thou tell us whether thou be the Hamashiach, the Son of the Heavenly Father. And Yahawashi said unto him, thou hast said, nevertheless I say unto you, hereafter shall ye see the Son of Man sitting on the right hand of power and coming in the clouds of heaven. And that's how the Lord's going to return. He's going to be coming in the clouds. And that's why going back to here, Revelation 1:7, behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him, and they also which pierced him, and all kindreds of the earth shall wail because of him, even so a month. So, every eye is going to see him. And they're going to see him like in the movie Independence Day. Because in this movie, like you can see it in the trailer right here, every eye saw him. Every eye seen. You see there, and then there's the shadow over the city. That's the chariot coming in. That's one of the. You want to get an idea of how the Lord's going to make his return? Fucking Independence Day. This is the way. With the with the UFO. Right here. This is going to be this here. I could promise you that this right here is going to happen. This is how the Lord's going to make his return. This is how he's going to deliver his elect. Every eye is going to see him. And this is going to be a day when it happens where it's going to be as if fucking time stopped. Okay? It's gonna be a day to remember, man. This is gonna be. People want to wonder about what happened this time and that time. No, ain't nobody gonna be caring about what happened in the past, except when this happens. This is the theme that's gonna be held in the kingdom as a remembrance when the Lord delivered His people, from the hard bondage wherein they were made to serve. Okay, this is gonna happen, whether you people believe it or not. And I could give a shit what you people believe, because this will take place. All right, and it's gonna be a beautiful time in that time to be alive. Okay. And I'll go ahead and grab this last precept. Just a quick lesson. Wrap it up on this. Matthew chapter 24, verse 29. And it says, and immediately after the tribulation of those days, and this is the glorious return. That's why I probably should have titled this lesson, Glorious Return. But it says, and immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, going back to what we just read in Revelation 1 and 7, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. See? And that's going to be a very great and glorious return. And it says, and He shall send His angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together His elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other. And that's right. And this is soon to be. All right. But I'm going to go ahead and end here through the Spirit. I pray this lesson was edifying, exhorting, and comforting. And as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and the glory to YAHAWAH, YAHAWASHI, 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 and it's on